I'm curious about the Qatar thing. I know we talked about that briefly.
Okay.
But they have been planning the World Cup for like, what, 8 years? All the stuff was set, and then literally 4 days ago, they go, no alcohol.
All part of the plan.
You think so?
I think so. The entire time. They know exactly what they're going to do the entire time. I'm curious what Budweiser's going to do. Budweiser's a big sponsor, American sponsor of the World Cup. They've allocated budget to this, right?
Millions of dollars.
Apparently they're selling Budweiser Zero.
I mean,
no alcohol. People are still buying it. Just for like the ritual probably of having beer at a game.
Yeah. I mean, my dad would do that. He would drink like O'Doul's, I think was
back in the day.
Yeah. And I guess he just liked the taste and I guess the ritual, what you're saying. But like, I don't know. If I'm Budweiser, I'm absolutely fucking furious. And I wonder if this is the last one that happens in a country that doesn't allow alcohol consumption because of the sponsorship. Because FIFA's got to bear the weight of that, right? Not Qatar. FIFA's got to answer those Budweiser calls like, motherfucker, I gave you $10 million to sponsor this event, and now I can't even sell alcohol.
Oh, but didn't Qatar pay mad money to have it there?
But to FIFA, not to Budweiser.
So now FIFA takes some of that money and like, yo, sorry.
Do you think Budweiser's like, okay, I'll take a $10 million payout? Like, Budweiser, these are like billion-dollar brands. Like,
True.
I don't know. I just feel like something's got to give with the sponsorship.
Just the fact that we
$5 million.
$75 million
Every 4 years, that's their normal World Cup budget.
So you got to give that money back.
Yeah.
That's number one, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're in the business of selling alcohol, not non-alcoholic shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You tell me, your Budweiser, like, break it down. How does that...
Oh, you want your money back. Dude, how many... To get drunk, you're going to buy 7, 8 beers, whatever the fuck it is. If you just want the ritual of drinking a beer at a game, you're buying 1 beer. You are cutting my alcohol consumption, by like 80%.
I think at this point, they just want to kind of probably distance themselves from whatever Firefest, bad press that's going to happen, more so for the LGBTQ news that's coming out of Qatar.
Oh, yeah, what was that again?
Did you see?
They said keep your gay flags in your gay country, bro. They were not having that shit. No rainbow flags, none of that. He's like, respect the customs of our country. Now, it's really interesting. Now this is why I think it's really interesting they called a bluff, is that the corporations can't take a moral high ground on anything, right? Like, Apple can't go, we're boycotting because of the way that they treat gays. And it's like, well, you have slaves making the phones, right?
But they still all do it.
They do it, but what happened is Qatar is vocal.
Yeah.
They'll say it. They'll be like, who do you think makes your phones? Like, because that's what we do in the West. We just outsource anything illegal.
Right.
It's like slavery is illegal here. So we'll just buy slaves over there
Yeah.
to make our shit.
Right.
Right? So it's like anything that's illegal here, that's what globalization is. It's like, well, how do we still have slaves?
Yeah.
You know? So they can't exactly say anything and not be called out for being hypocrites. So they kind of got to be quiet. It's a really interesting dynamic. We think in the West that we're on this moral high ground about everything, but we're not.
No.
We just outsource our fuck shit.
Yeah, we just distance ourselves from immorality.
Exactly.
Put it in a place we can't see it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they can call us out on that, and then we can say absolutely nothing. So where we were going into this thing, and I was going, oh my God, we got them by the balls, but all we got to do is say, look at this bullshit, and you're going to have all these Americans going like, look at this disgusting regime and the way that they treat these people. And all they have to do is be like, Nike, where do you make your shoes? Apple, where do you make your phones? Don't give us any shit about how we have immoral or unethical practices. You're just as immoral and just as unethical. At least we stand on our shit. And that's kind of interesting.
Now, why are they banning it, though? That's my question. Like, obviously, there's a religious component in Qatar.
Homosexuality, I'm sure, is illegal, right?
Yeah. Which also, people keep saying Qatar now. We're not saying Qatar. That's like the name of the country?
That's how it's say it.
It's Qatar. We said Qatar my whole life.
Yeah, I know.
And all of a sudden, we just switched it?
Yeah, it's like Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ukraine.
Kiev.
Ukraine.
Kiev. Like, I don't
Kiev,
get why does it change as soon as it gets in the media? What's happening?
Well, I don't know.
It's always
Well,
been
think
pronounced.
about it. Someone who speaks Arabic, how they're going to say, they're not saying, I live in Qatar. They're
Have
saying,
I been pronouncing it wrong?
Yes.
Qatar. They're going to say, probably closer to Qatar.
But I say Japan. I don't say Nippon. Like,
I don't get that.
That's an
not-
exonym versus an intronym.
But I'm saying, though, if we've been...
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you just say?
Yeah, that's
An exonym is like a country's name that is different. So Nippon, Deutschland, Germany, Japan.
Yeah, why do we decide what the... I think we've talked about this on pod before. But
Yeah.
like,
'Cause
we
we the
just...
boys.
Yeah, but like, who goes from Nippon to Japan?
easier to say.
What about
I don't remember
Nippon?
I don't remember the story of
Japan.
that, of why it went that way, but products that come out of Japan are still called like Nippon made.
Oh wow.
Air Nippon is the Japanese airline.
We're gonna say Neeps.
Yeah, neat.
Come on, son. Which one slaps
That's a good,
harder?
that's a good point.
That's
That's
a
a great
very good point, honestly.
That's a great point. We name countries based on how we can be racist towards them.
Yeah, exactly.
That is fire. Neeps does not hit.
Yeah.
That does not hit.
Well,
dude.
anyway, these cutters, we're saying that like, I guess they don't want alcohol being introduced because then they're afraid of like what the moral ripple will be within the country in the months and years following the World Cup.
100%.
They're like, oh, we bring in all these Western values. All of a sudden, all of our people are like, oh, these Western values are awesome. And then there's moral erosion amongst
Yeah,
the
fun. They're gonna have fun.
What's wild
Nah,
about
I
that
respect
is
that.
it's like they're the richest country per capita, so they only have they think 325,000 people. So if they're trying to expand the city based off of like World Cup success, like to become like a Dubai, I think the numbers are they spend 300 billion, 45 billion is on their new city. It's called Lusail City. 10 billion on stadiums, 30 billion on metro. I'm like, it seems like you want a lot of people moving over there. You're not going to really do well if you're going to ban it fully, or maybe they will, but they're not going to.
I guess what Dove is trying to say is like they should be investing in the tourism aspect of this place, like Dubai is. But I respect them for sticking to their guns, bro. Like,
I respect
yo,
that.
if alcohol is illegal, and you don't plan on ever selling alcohol in the future, what is the point of having the World Cup or the Olympics in your city? What is the point?
tourism, bring people in, money funnels in, etc.
That's it, right? It's tourism. It's like, hey, this is a cool place. You might want to come back here. You might want to tell your friends about it. The world is watching. Let's make it look cool. If you have no intention in the future on selling alcohol, which it seems like Qatar doesn't, don't sell a fucking drop. And if you actually think your culture is dope, right? If you really believe in your culture,
Yep.
Culture will win.
the culture will win.
Yeah, that's why I respect our country being boring as fuck. That's it, but I respect it. Actually, you stand on that
100%.
shit.
But no,
I'm
for
like,
real,
yo, this
stand on your
culture
shit,
got something.
Qatar. Like, is your country interesting enough without alcohol? I think no. I think they're probably culturalists, and they're just a bunch of buildings that are propped up by oil money, and it absolutely is fucking hot garbage.
I don't know.
That's my
also,
I gotta tell y'all about the best wallets in the business. Damn right. Okay? You know what's happening? You're walking down the street, some dude's bumping into you, and he's stealing all your information, and you don't even realize it. They don't got to steal your wallet to steal your information. You know, you pay for a coffee, you just tap your phone on the thing. Someone could tap your thigh or your back pocket while you're walking down the street, steal all your shit, not if you got an Exter. Exter got the RFID protection. It protects you against boop, steal all your information. Okay? The best wallet in the business. Look how cool they got this nice little leather one. You can even put that little, what is that thing called, Miles? An air something? AirTag. You can even AirTag it so you never have to lose it. I'm telling you, this is the best in the business. It's trackable worldwide. This is the one wallet you will not lose, okay? You're not going to lose the wallet, and nobody's going to take what's in it from you. And it's a no-brainer because you're getting up to 20% off site-wide when you use the code FLAGRANT at Exter.com. So check out the wallets at Exter, EKSTER.com, and get up to 20% off site-wide with the code FLAGRANT. Now let's get back to this exclusive Patreon clip.
The alcohol, by the way, is all in their club level, so they're elitist, like
Yeah,
VIP
that's
lounges.
always the thing that bothers me with all these countries is the elites still get whatever the fuck they want, and they
like
don't.
in
Even,
the arenas.
if you're in a suite, you get
You've seen it?
alcohol.
I've seen a picture
Our boys-
already.
our boys are drinking?
are currently at the club level
Oh, that's kinda
inside
fire.
at the World Cup.
That shit is not.
Yeah, because
that's
Qatar
swag.
just lost to Ecuador 2-0.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yeah,
I
there's
thought they-
alcohol in that club level.
I thought they paid him off to lose.
That's what everyone's roasting. It's like there was apparently I haven't seen the game, but a bad missed call from like
It
a
was the
penalty
first one.
thing,
I was
but-
watching it earlier, and yeah, there was a offsides call on the first goal, but then they scored two more afterwards, almost immediately.
The roast is like you said, all this time spending all this money you could have
see
invested.
how-
All the players are expats, right, on their team.
Yeah,
They've been,
but that's all these.
developing them.
Yeah, it's like they did that before, also with weightlifting. I think. Remember, they nationalized a bunch of people.
Oh,
They
yeah,
nationalized a bunch of Georgians, like from the country Georgia, who were like historic weightlifters, and they're like, "Oh, you're a Qatari citizen now." And I think they won medals for Qatar. They're trying to buy thousands of years of
trying to buy relevance.
relevance, but yeah. They're trying to buy relevance.
If we're getting Olympic gold medals, we're a little bit more relevant. If we're getting World Cup wins, we're a little more. If that World Cup is here, we're a little bit more relevant.
Yeah.
They're just trying to buy relevance.
And honestly, more people know Qatar than Kuwait now.
Yeah.
Think about that.
They got to catch up to Dubai. They got a long way to go.
But how do they do it if they don't have fun? Western fun.
No, I know.
Well, it's kind of like the way that Saudi Arabia has Bahrain that's close and they all party over there, but Saudi Arabia has all that business. So right now I'm seeing a lot of plays on like, it's like a 38-minute flight to
Bahrain.
No, to Dubai and all these other places. So they
But
know
that's
like
not
you
gonna
come
incre-
here for business,
Yeah,
not
but
fun.
Now, if the big pocket people are still able to have fun, that's the ones that you attract.
Interesting.
So now,
Can you make enough
all
money
of-
with that?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like, yeah, I'm curious about that. I think
They don't
Dubai's
want the brokers.
That's like dark. That's like dark fun though. That's just
No,
like
it-
real. What's happening on the
Shit on
42nd
OnlyFans models
floor
fun?
fun.
let me tell you something that's really interesting about Dubai and what they've done brilliantly. Like, Dubai has done more with cultural propaganda through that Real Housewives show than they have through anything else that they've put out.
Oh, what do you mean?
They have a Real Housewives of Dubai. I believe it's under that franchise.
Really?
Now they're doing another show called Bling something, Dubai Bling or something like that. That's going to be on Netflix. But the Dubai show is all, I think, expats. I don't know if there's any actual Emiratis that are in the show. So there's like a white chick from England. There's a very famous Sudanese model. There's like, and they all have husbands and whatever in their family dynamic, and they're doing the same thing that women do when they get together, just fucking fight with each other and whatever. But it's showing the lifestyle. It's showing the luxury. It's showing the thing that women see and they're like, ooh, that'd be kind of nice. My wife is even like, I don't know why, I'm kind of like interested in Dubai a little bit.
Oh shit.
And if you get the wives interested, who gotta go?
Yeah.
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 But also,
Right?
And
But real quick. So the amount of money that they paid, like let's say, for example, that show makes no money, but the government of Dubai or the United Arab Emirates or whatever, UAE, is paying Bravo, whatever fucking channel, to create the show. Even as a loss leader, it's gonna get me to go to fucking Dubai with my wife and do all these things. And if life is cool over there, then we might go, oh, this is a reasonable place to pop into while I'm going to a longer flight. Oh, I'm going to Australia? Maybe I'll stop over and spend a few nights in Dubai. They're doing the right thing to create tourism. They're breaking all the rules of Islam. I mean, there's people fucking, there's prostitutes out there, there's alcohol zones, which
they
is
call them,
basically,
the hotel zones.
hotels are international zones. They're like breaking all the rules, but they're creating a real tourist destination and they're doing it with culture instead of like cool real estate things. Like, remember they did that palm tree thing in the, and it's like, that looked cool, but nobody wanted to go see it and those lots are vacant. Like people didn't even buy it.
Yeah. It's only cool when you're in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like you're creating something that I can only enjoy from the sky.
Exactly, when I'm on it, I'm just on a shitty piece of land.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, like, when you look at creating hype around your country and treating it like a tourist attraction, which you fucking need to do once you run out of that, those old dinosaurs under the ground. How do you do it? You might have to break some of the laws of Islam. And if Dubai is the first one to prove that it works, does Qatar start to become a little bit more malleable? Does Saudi Arabia, the most strict place in the whole world, do they start to go, listen, this is our future. When we run out of oil, what are we supposed to do? And they're going to have to make a very difficult choice. And that is capitalism or Islam.
It is so hard to compete with Western culture. We've had this talk before, but the idea that you just do what makes you happy is the most intoxicating idea in human history.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy. Let's drink, let's have sex, let's do all this stuff that's completely anti-Islam because it makes me happy. God might make me feel fulfilled and truly happy, but this makes me feel good and
That
temporarily
momentary, immediate happiness.
I don't know the difference. You know how old you got to get for you know the difference in those two?
Yeah.
Most people don't. They die not knowing. So that's really like the only hope America has against China.
So here's my question. You know how like Russia has gotten its citizens comfortable with despair,
Discomfort, yeah.
and discomfort. Like I mean, it sounds kind of like insulting, but like the people there, like I think like some crazy percentage. Somebody told us this, like 40% of Russians don't have like running toilets or something like that. Like some crazy number. Now, granted, there are a lot of places outside of fucking Moscow and St. Petersburg that, are way more rural, right? That being said, the people that are a little bit more comfortable with discomfort. The Middle East is the opposite, right? These oil countries have become incredibly comfortable with luxury.
Yeah.
And if that oil dries up, are you going to make the sacrifices to Islam necessary to maintain that luxury? Because please believe, if you don't have that oil propping it up, you're going to need tourism, and people are not going to fly all the way out there to smoke hookah.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to sell some alcohol. You're gonna need to sell some pussy.
Egypt is so grateful for their pyramids. They're like, thank God.
They have a tourist.
We have something for people to come look
Yeah,
at. Bro.
white people specifically. Do you know what I mean? Like it's so funny. Muslims, they don't need to see no fucking pyramids. They're gonna see the block. They want to spin the block, literally. Like they want to spin the block. Mecca, let's go. And there's a few other like very historic sites, right? There's Al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, and I think there's a top 3. I'm fucking it up, but like. There are these things that are like so important to you because of like what the religion means, right?
Yeah.
But you gonna want Asians. Like you go to Paris, you take your girl to Paris, right?
Yeah.
That's Nippon.
Nippon, bro. Real talk. Right? It's like in the Medina,
But that's like a thing. Paris syndrome is like when like Asian or like Japanese, Chinese tourists like go to Paris and then they'll like faint or like have panic attacks because it's not what they thought it was like on TV or whatever.
The disappointment, the sheer disappointment. They built up their one trip their whole life to see this most beautiful place. But like the whole world has gone to Paris, and the French have been doing this for years. I think it was Louis the Sun King. Who was he? Louis
16th?
Maybe it was 16th. And like, they basically they're like the Kardashians. They like flexed shit that they didn't even have. They were broke. You know what I mean? But they made it look like they had everything. And people from around the world were coming to go like pay $500,000 or whatever to watch the guy take a shit. Like it was crazy.
Don't disrespect the Kardashians like that.
Yeah, you're right. My bad.
23% of Russia still doesn't have
23%
central
of Russia.
sewage systems.
Crazy.
Christ.
Louis the 14th, bro.
Louis XIV. But I don't know, isn't that kind of interesting? Like you're gonna have a real conundrum, right? You've gotten your people used to a lifestyle that you're not gonna be able to maintain when that oil shuts off.
I wonder if they're trying to just attract like other Muslims. Like, is there a play where they're like, okay, we're not going to compromise on our values the way like Dubai has, but we are going to create the coolest city that all the Muslims want to
That
come
I
to.
see being possible because it's
that's
really well
fire.
located. Yeah, I saw that map of all the direct flights from Kuwait, from this. So you can capture a huge Muslim.
Let's get all the rich
whoa.
Yemenis.
population.
Let's get all the rich, and they don't want to live in Dubai because it's just tourists and debauchery. So what if we can create the cool Dubai?
That's what I was gonna say. You're underestimating how many Muslims there are in the world.
It's like an Islamic
You
metropolis.
just need to appeal to them.
Yo, this is so interesting, right? So, how many Muslims total?
Wait, what?
Too many. No, but that's a great point. And then you kind of make Dubai look like this, like Western washed, whitewashed, capitulating for tourism.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Middle East for white people. And then, because I bet you all the real like Muslims probably see this and they're like, oh, this is awesome because they're not compromising on their values. They're fucking with the religion, and it's also kind of a middle finger to like the West.
Yes.
And
it's
where
like-
the most the country with the most Muslims, Indonesia, you can attract so many people.
Yeah,
from
you get all the
200
Malays, you
million.
get
Like, you've got
Pakistanis,
enough
like-
people that would adhere to the rules that want to see something
Now, the question I
advanced,
have
different.
about that is, are those Muslims around the world wealthy enough to support a tourist economy in a very expensive city like Doha? Doha is in Qatar?
Yeah, it's the capital of Qatar.
Yeah, like Doha. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the reason why people want to attract the West is because we have money. Like, and
The other thing.
I don't know if Indonesians, I don't know what the Indonesian economy
You
is,
say it's a tour city, or it's a city of universities and research, and you're spending that money on that.
I do really like that idea, real quick. I do really like this idea. Like, let's just target Muslims.
Yeah, they're making Muslim Wakanda.
Make Muslim
And
Wakanda.
they're just
That'd
like,
be
we're just gonna
fire.
get all the like. We don't even need all the Muslims, like, because not all of them can come over. But like, if they can go on a Hajj, like on the way, they can pop in.
You know what
and
I mean? Like make it. What is a Disneyland for Muslims?
Yeah.
Right. Like what is. Everything is catered to them. The way that they're going to the movies, the way they're going to dine, the way that they're. Every aspect of the culture is the most refined, amazing quality food, amazing quality music. It's Vegas, but without all the debauchery, without all the sin that you're trying to avoid anyway. It's like. It's really convenient if you're a diehard believer.
Is there a place like this already? Like, do they go to Riyadh? Do they go to?
But Saudi Arabia ain't got shit. That's the thing. Like,
this
they don't
is
have
built
fun
up
yet.
beautifully.
I don't know what Riyadh is like. Like, is there a city? Like, is there a metropolis? Like a Muslim metropolis?
I think Dubai would have to be it.
Well, whatever
But
they
now
did,
they're so
like,
westernized.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's
Dubai is
they
America.
fake like they're westernized because
Right.
they still keep it contained in certain areas. Like
Here's
when you
all-
still walk around the street, the women still have to cover up and all that
Right.
type of stuff. So it's like
Here's what I'm also wondering though.
you can
How
convince convince yourself that the country's
You
still.
can't convince, even though you know on some level they're wavering.
And that's what's going to happen in Qatar. Same shit.
Oh, you're saying it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Because even this is a point I was going to bring up. Even in the theocracies, like I have some friends who live in Pakistan, and we were hanging out and they drank, and I was like, oh, and they were like, yeah, actually, most people in Pakistan drink. You don't think that, but that same thing probably happens. It's probably happening in Qatar right now.
Yeah.
People are drinking, but on what Mark was saying. A nice fuck you to the West is no, you don't get to bring your little shit over here. We're gonna drink, but when you fly over here, you gotta be us. Because we always gotta capitulate to you every time we go out there.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah. Now y'all gonna give in to us.
It's a really cool play, and I think it's a really smart play. And I'm just curious how many Muslims are gonna leave their country to go to like the bougie Muslim version of it, since a lot of those countries in the Middle East that are oil countries are already incredibly wealthy. Like they have to find something to make it interesting, to make it, I don't know what it
One more
is.
thought though, you have a country of 3 million people, and those 3 million people see Dubai and they see people moving to London. That's like a last ditch effort to make sure that they hold on to their young that are in Qatar. They want to be in a cool city, otherwise they're gonna leave.
Okay, what about this? You do exactly what they're doing.
Or Doha.
You have the World Cup, you have F1, you have every major event that you possibly could have, right? So you have whatever band is the biggest band. You have constant events. You eventize the country. That's your entertainment. Outside of that, your country's not going to be that different from Kuwait or any of these other incredibly wealthy oil countries. But they do have the things. So you make sure those relationships allow you to have those things. Whoever the biggest Muslim comedian is in the world, he got to be performing there.
Yeah.
And then it becomes the destination for anything that is culturally, I don't know, has like cultural, what is it? Not homogeny. Well, maybe. What is the word I'm working for? What doesn't matter. So synergy. Right? So, then it's Vegas. It's Muslim Vegas.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's smart. But you have to eventize it. Just having nice hotels, it's like they got that in every other one of these fucking countries.
Vegas's biggest thing was what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what, honestly, apparently that like was a massive tourism push in Vegas after that ad campaign.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Are people excited about the World Cup? This is your time to shine.
I think there's like, in my opinion at least the way I feel is like there's like a stain on it a little bit.
Wow.
Like the World Cup, what makes it so fun is like it's pure. It happens in the summertime, so like everyone's feeling good and like people are out and partying.
Why isn't it in the summer?
Because it's in the Middle East.
Too hot.
Crazy hot there.
That's the controversy, and it's during Champions League, and any true soccer football fan is going to pick Champions League over the World Cup anytime.
And they're like stopping the season in the middle of it to do the World Cup.
You're impacting our team's shots at winning a Champions League.
And then imagine like a player gets injured at the Cup. Now they're
Which is gonna
champions.
happen.
That already happened.
Yeah,
with your boy,
Benzema messed up his thigh. Like I think that was in training though. I don't think it was with the club, but yeah, it's just a shame. Like it feels like the spirit is taken away. The whole point of it is it feels like the New York City Marathon, but like around the world. You know what I mean? Where it's like everyone just like cheering on their thing, and there's like like pride, and everyone comes together. And there's like global harmony, and then it's like tainted with like money and corruption and like slaves dying building the stadium.
Italy's not in the World Cup, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
so Italians are roasting the shit out of this World Cup.
But that's on them. They should roast their team.
We're in it?
Yeah, we're in it.
All right,
but
let's go.
there's something really interesting about like when the World Cup happens though, like just being at a bar. Like I was at Jack's or whatever earlier today, and I'm sitting next to an Irish guy who is watching the game on his phone, and an Ecuadorian bartender is watching as well, right? And a gay, like super flaming gay Ecuadorian bartender. There's something about soccer that cuts through all that shit. Like you are still a soccer fan, like when it's with your country. So he's watching the game with the Irish guy and me, and I'm the most outsider, and like all of us really are congealed into this like one moment, locked into this game. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's awesome in New York specifically, especially in the States. It doesn't really hit the same unless you're in a big city.
Because you have all the cultures. in the big
but
city.
when you're in a big city, it's like I remember World Cup 2018, just like walking down the street, and it's just like every bar is playing it, and like everyone's just like wearing it. It just I don't know. For me at least, as I'm noticing it, like it felt like a vibe.
That's a cool vlog. Is you find the day that has the most games. What are their total? Like 4 games a day or something like that? Okay, so 3 games a day?
No, 2 games a day, I think.
Maybe.
Just 2 games a day? Even in this beginning stages?
Yeah, I thought
You're right. You're in group stage and then in the
Thank you,
ones.
Shub.
The one where we're going to go, there's 2 games a day.
Yeah, this is
So-
also the most crunch World Cup they've ever had. So it's the most games in the fewest days.
Ooh.
Why?
I don't know why they did. I'm assuming because they have to capitulate with the Champions League.
Yeah.
So like we have to shrink down the days.
They can't
and,
just stop the season for the whole
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
time.
Whereas like in the summertime, you have 2.5. You have 3 months basically.
Okay, so you do 4 games. That's 8 teams. It'd be kind of cool to go to a bar. Like for the first half, you're at the Ecuador bar. Second
Yeah.
half, you're at the whatever Qatar bar. That wouldn't be one, but
You'd be surprised though. There's probably restaurants. There's probably Qatari restaurants that are playing the games that are like packed.
wouldn't that be dope? And
There's
you do
a
the whole
thing
day.
for that's what I love about New York, especially like there's a multiple bars for every team and for every country. Like I saw France playing the final in 2018, and it was just at a French like bar restaurant thing, and it was just packed, only French people. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So fun. Even
And this
watching
is like
U.S. World Cup in a bar where everybody's rooting for the U.S. is so fun.
Yeah.
We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when we were playing against, I think we went to something on St. Mark's.
Yeah. I remember that.
We were playing against Ghana.
yeah.
And that was the other thing about it. I know it sounds like we're geeking out over soccer and like people listening right now, like finally you fucking get it. It's not soccer specifically, but I do appreciate that the collective care of a thing. Like it's why a show is great, like House of Dragons or Game of Thrones. It's like Breaking Bad. Like everybody getting excited about the same thing is awesome. It's so rare now with the internet that we get to do that. But I never feel uncomfortable walking into any bar to watch a soccer match. And I don't know if that's something specific to soccer. Like, if I walked into like a Chiefs bar, a Kansas City Chiefs bar in New York to watch a game, I would feel a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Like,
Oh yeah, and if they find out you're not a Chiefs fan,
It's a
then
whole
somebody
thing.
just making comments on
Oh,
TV
yeah,
the whole
like
time.
a poser or
Yeah.
something. Like,
I think it's like an American thing, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Because like
We're the best, that's
you
it.
walk into like a soccer bar in America and you're like, oh, no one here really gives a shit about any of this.
okay, that's it then. Okay,
Or like
okay,
I think
okay.
if you're like in Liverpool and you walk into like a Liverpool bar, you're like, oh, there's a vibe. Like
Yeah,
these
I
guys give
would
a fuck
feel a little
about
bit
this.
more like a voyeur.
Yeah.
But if my team is playing,
Yeah.
like if America is playing,
Yeah.
I could walk into any bar and we're all on the same page and everybody is rooting for this same
Yeah.
thing. It's really cool,
And
man.
that's the cool thing with supporting like national teams is that you already are opted into supporting the team.
Yeah,
Like just by
yeah.
virtue of being American, you're like,
I don't have a
"All right,
choice."
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is my team, I guess.
I
Yeah.
was made here.
Yeah, it's like when you go to like a dinner show and they just seat you in like the green section and you're like, I'm a fan of the green guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what it is, but like on a global level.
Yeah.
So, but I think like the corruption thing and all the money that's fucking it up.
It's taken away from it a
Like
bit.
people were like, Shub was even telling me that there were apparently like 8 to 10 Ecuadorian players that were being bribed by the Qatari government, allegedly, to throw the game, to lose 1-0. And there's like a big controversy where it's like, did they actually do it? Obviously they won 2-0, so like that wasn't a case, but like people were like, oh, they're gonna try to throw games. Qatar is the first team to host a World Cup to lose in the opening match. So
and
it's
they
like,
gave them what, the worst team? Does Ecuador have actually a good team?
I mean, they're decent. Like Ecuador's pretty good.
I mean, how much did you have to pay me? There's a number, right? Where I'll throw
Oh,
the game.
are you kidding me? Ecuador?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Ecuador? You don't think Ecuador is willing to? I mean, what are they? They're probably like the second poorest country in Central/South America.
I don't know. I mean, most of those guys probably have professional contracts.
Yeah, that's
Like at least, I think they're probably all on professional
Son,
contracts.
give $1 billion to the government. That ain't nothing.
You
to
don't think that they're throwing a game for $2 million? I guarantee I could bribe a soccer player for $2 million. An Ecuadorian soccer player I could bribe for $2 million. 100%.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know. I gotta
guarantee.
look. I gotta look.
Guarantee.
But yeah, people are saying it's like, yeah, they're fucking buying games and shit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of tarnishes it. But I think people are gonna still watch it and still love it because it's the
When they
greatest
get to
tournament.
see, hopefully, Messi and Ronaldo play, everyone's fucking watching it.
Yeah.
I heard they think Messi got a good chance this year. Argentina's got a really strong team. This is his last World Cup. So a lot of people are thinking it might finally happen.
That's
World
the
Cup
hope.
is back.
Is
World
there a
Cup is back,
chance
dude.
of Argentina and Portugal playing in the finals the way that the brackets are
I
lined
don't
up?
think so.
Yes.
Wait, they can?
Whoa.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
No, because
Sounds
I did a bracket and
I did a
they
bracket.
Son, it's gonna be another year of Mark just looking like an idiot with this talking about soccer, bro. Come on.
That's the thing. You can look like it because it's just passion. You know what I mean? It's just about loving something.
Son, this is your time. You
'Cause
better
that would
know
be
your
wild.
shit, bro. Know your shit.
That would be absolutely fucking wild. Also, people kept texting me that they're like, yo, y'all made it. And I was like, what's up? And they'd send me the video where Messi is doing a turn your phone.
Oh shit,
I was like, yeah, that's it. I mean, if Messi's turning the phone,
that's crazy.
we did it. We changed culture, guys.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I'm Team Ronaldo.
Did you see how Budweiser responded? Last thing,
What did they say?
they tweeted out a picture of a massive warehouse full of the branded World Cup beer. Mm-hmm. It's a massive warehouse. And they said, new day, new tweet, winning country gets all of the buds. Who's going to get them? So apparently they're going to they haven't discussed the details on it, but they're in a statement, they were like, yeah, we want to give all of these buds away to the winning country and put them in their stadium somehow. They haven't figured out the details, but I think that's what they're going to do and how they stay relevant with this whole controversy.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that is the answer, but that's a good PR
trying.
move. You got to use the energy. That PR team right now got to be cooking on something.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have just can you fly a plane with?
Yeah, but they definitely knew about this for a while. Because the
They
fact
had-
that there's no lawsuits, they already have the Bud Light Zero ready to go. They've known for a while.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
Come on, it would be an instant lawsuit.
The
I think they already
amount,
had Bud Light Zero created.
the
same
amount
way
of
Salt
Bud
Lake
Light
City
Zero, the amount of Bud Light Zero that they have at the games.
We'll tell.
We'll let you
We'll
know.
tell you.
Yeah.
If they have enough Bud Light Zero for every person that's in the stands, they knew that they weren't selling a single bit of alcohol this whole fucking time.
The fact that they haven't run out already.
Yo.
Who gets Bud Light Zero?
Facts.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, they had to know.
But again, if you're buying a non-alcoholic beer, you're having one. You're
Yeah,
not.
but-
I don't know.
Yo,
people
what
who
if
have-
all these soccer fans finally realize it's boring? What if they're like,
Yeah, but that's just there.
Yeah, but-
They're not around the rest of the world, though.
yeah, because they're not, but
Yeah.
all the British people that went there are watching games sober, and they're like, well, where's the scoring, man? They're just gonna kick it around a bit.
The best part of it is
Why are you
fucking-
rolling around on the ground
Yeah.
pretending to be hurt and shit? What's that stupid shit you're doing?
Yo, they realized it's just a shitty sport. After all, they were just absolutely blitzed.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
This is what the world needed. Basketball just takes over.
Oh, yes, let's go.